everybody, and welcome to another Cheat Meal Monday. And I'm going to share with you what I'm making today. First, I want to share with you what I got free that was given to me. I received all of this food for free. This was food that was donated to a food bank, and this was what was left over, and they wanted to get rid of it. And a friend thought of me. So let me show you what I got. A great week for produce, they said. And this was all leftover produce, which they don't have a place to store it. So I got these for free. Some asparagus. I got some baby lettuce. A pack of tomatoes. And some of this asparagus. Radishes, and we got some pink grapefruit, more tomatoes, and some flax seeds. It's such a blessing to me, and I'm so excited, and I'm so happy that my friend thought of me and they got this food for me. Blessing that was. So today we're going to take some of the asparagus, and we're going to have asparagus with some cheeseburgers, and I'll show you how I'm going to make it. Plus, I'm going to show you a little bit of a tip if you'd like to get some red meat, but you don't want to pay those high prices. So let's get started on our meal. Shop at Wise's for some of my meat because I can get some really good deals. So it was $5 for this pack of meat. Plus, I had a $2 coupon because it was a day old. So I ended up paying only $3 for this pack of meat. $3 is still a little high price, but for a little bit over a pound of ground beef for $3, I'll take it. And I'm going to make burgers with it. I was cleaning out my cupboard and I found this, Grill Mates. So we're going to use this simply because I need to get it used up. As you know, I am shying away from these prepackaged spice mixes, but I have so many of them yet, and I really want to get them used up. So all it calls for is one of these mixes, and 1 pound of ground beef, and we're just going to form burgers with this. So we're just going to mix it up. It doesn't call for anything else, just the meat and this mix. Now this is going to give us more burgers than what we're going to eat tonight, and so I'm going to freeze the rest. So I want to make sure that I get it really incorporated really well. If you don't have a spice mix, all you do is add your own spices. A little bit of chopped onion or salt and pepper. Alright, looks great. I'm actually going to use this to package my extra burgers in it. So we're going to go ahead. Now, like I said, we don't eat a whole lot of meat, so we're going to mix probably maybe a quarter or about a fourth of a pound of burger. So this should make about 4 burgers. And let's see how many it makes. Make sure I really incorporate that spices in there. Let's see, I can put 1 there. So for $3, I'm ending up with 2 meals of burgers. And I have a little bit left, and so we're going to actually put just a little more into each one. So this gave us 4 burgers for $3. Now we're talking a very frugal meal. So I'm filming this Saturday, and I went this morning for some of this ground beef, and Saturday you often will see their sales with their meat. So there we go. Now we have 2 burgers that we're making for lunch, we have 2 burgers that we're making for dinner, and 2 burgers that we're going to freeze. Alright, let me wash my hands and then we'll get started on the asparagus. Wash the asparagus, and we're just going to go ahead and we're going to chop it. Then we're going to put it with a little pan of water. We're not going to use too much water. We're going to cut it in bite-sized pieces. Now this is actually really good young asparagus. Such a blessing that it was given to me. This was a whole pound of it. Now asparagus is something that's not that great leftover, but we have no problem eating all of this. Now the very ends I will not use. The very ends can tend to be tough. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snap the very ends of them. Now we're going to bring this to a boil, and it's going to only cook for a few minutes once you bring it to a boil. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and cook that. Burgers are being cooked. Now I'm going to show you that we are going to make some breadcrumbs to go on the asparagus once it's already cooked. So we're going to go put this on the stove, and we're going to bring it to a boil and cook it for a few minutes. Alright, so we have our olive oil and our butter and some garlic, and this is what we have. I have this already mixed up, and this is what I use. So we're going to melt this, and then we're going to add some bread cubes. So basically what we're doing is we're going to make our own bread cubes to put on top of the asparagus once the asparagus is cooked. Now this only takes a few minutes. So we want to really turn our heat down. And what we're going to do is we're just browning the butter. We're browning the bread cubes. This is the favorite way that Fanny liked making her asparagus. So now all we're going to do is we're just going to coat these until they get good and crispy. And then we'll let them off the heat, and when the asparagus is done, we're going to drain it, and then we add these bread cubes to it. Now if you want, you can make your bread cubes a little smaller. But if you want, you can make the bread cubes a little smaller, but the bread cubes is what makes it so good. Right, so now all we have to do is wait until our burgers are finished. Then I'll put a piece of American cheese on them. And when our asparagus is finished, we'll put everything together, and I'll show you what the meal looks like. And we'll have to give it a taste test to see. This is one of hubby's favorite meals. And this is a perfect time of the year to be eating asparagus. The asparagus season doesn't last very long. As soon as the hot summer sun sets in, the asparagus goes to seed. So there's only just a few weeks of the year when the asparagus is perfect. So I'll get back to you in just a few minutes. And right before we're ready to serve the asparagus, we add our bread cubes. And this is how I remember Fanny, how she would make her asparagus. Just like that. Brings back a lot of memories because Fanny loved asparagus. So we're going to put a helping of it on our plate. My salt, pepper. Now we'll go ahead and we'll assemble the burgers. Today I got some of the lettuce for free. and some tomatoes. Now these are small tomatoes, but you use what you got, and this is what we got. Some of my zucchini relish I have a video on, and I'll share it with you above. Alright, let's try some of this asparagus. Mmm. That is amazing. The burger. It's an amazing meal. If you want to omit the bread, you would really have a very healthy meal, but a little bit of the bread sure does taste good. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me know, have you ever made asparagus with bread cubes before? It sure is good. Once again, it's time for Fanny's Diary, and we are on April 29th, 1943. Marion got her glasses, and we were at the doctor's.